Hello everyone, it is River Witch or just River, and I'm here today with a video to talk just about essentially what is shifting. I want to talk about a bunch of terms in shifting. I want to go over some common misconceptions, some methods, so yeah, let's go. Okay, so first of all we're going to start with just what is shifting. Shifting is the idea that in the multiverse, you can take your consciousness and move it from this reality that you are living in now to an entirely separate reality. This reality can be literally just anything you want. You can shift to Hogwarts, the big ones, to Marvel, to, your favorite anime, your favorite TV show. You can just shift to a world where you have a boyfriend, and that could be the only difference. You can shift to a world where the walls of your room are blue instead of white. Like it can be like as small or as big as you want. Next, I want to go over the difference between a DR, a CR, and a WR. So your DR is your desired reality. That is the reality you are trying to shift to. Your CR is your current reality. That is the reality you are currently in, your subconscious is currently in, and all of that. And then a WR is a waiting room. Now this is a room that you can shift to before you shift to your DR. And essentially the idea is that they are a lot simpler and your entire DR is just like a little room. Sometimes whenever I want to use a waiting room, I just feel like a room, white walls, just one wooden door, and that is it. Because it is just so much easier to visualize, and it is very helpful if you are like struggling with visualization. Scripting. So scripting is writing down everything you want to happen in your DR. You can write down, all of your personal information, everything about your personal life, what you look like, what you act like, who your friends and family are, where you live. You can write scenarios that you want to happen in your DR. Your script can be just as simple or just as complex as you want. You can write 5 sentences, you can write 5 million pages. It does not matter. Scripting isn't necessary. There's a common misconception. You do not need to script. Everything is already in your subconscious, and everything will be fine. Scripting can just help you figure everything out and get everything from your head to the page so it's all just neat and nice and orderly. Now I want to move on to clones. Now clone is not the most accurate term for this, because it is not a clone of you, it is not separate from who you are, but I could personally not think of a better term for it, so clone, it works. So your clone, essentially, when you are in your DR, your consciousness is in, your consciousness is all over there. You're all having fun over there, so you do not know what is happening in your CR. So when you're in your DR, your clone will take over your physical body, and your clone will act like you, walk like you, talk. Your clone is you, just with like a different consciousness almost. It's still you though. No one's going to be none the wiser. You can script your clone to specific things, like you can script that your clone will clean for you, you can script that your clone will do your homework, you can script that your clone will just sleep whilst you're in your DR, whatever you want, essentially. But yeah, your clone will just take over your physical body while you are in your DR. Okay, so what are the symptoms that you are shifting and you are shifting successfully? Now, these are different for everyone. Some people feel no symptoms, some people feel a bunch of symptoms. It really just depends on you. So some of the most common symptoms are like itches, feel the need to itch to simplify your body, going numb, like tingly, numb sensation, feeling like you're floating, feeling like you're falling, seeing flashing bright lights is a very big one. It's so annoying because it's really hard to focus when you're just like, um, oh, where was I? So seeing flashing lights, feeling like your body is changing. So, if you're taller in your DR, feeling like you're getting taller and your limbs are elongating. Feeling stuff like clothes and stuff on you that you are not wearing. Feeling people touching you. Hearing voices. And yeah, those are some of the, your heart beating very fast is one that I don't see talk about a lot, but I get, and it's so annoying because I just was like, do I have heart problems? No, it's just a symptom of shifting. Most symptoms of shifting are also just symptoms that your body is falling asleep, which is good, because when your body falls asleep and your mind stays awake, it makes it so much just easier to shift. So next I want to talk about affirmations, visualization, and subliminals. So affirmations are going to be like little things you can say or write down to like help affirm that you are shifting. Some examples are: I am shifting, I am a master shifter, I'm so good at shifting, I'm shifting to my desired reality. When I wake up, it will be in my desired reality. Those are some of the most common. I am shifting tonight, my shifting will be successful. All of those are some very common affirmations that you can repeat in your head whilst you're trying to sleep. During the day, you can write them down, and that will just help affirm that you are in fact going to shift. Visualization is when you visualize your DR, so you can use all your senses. A common misconception is that you just visualizing is just like seeing, like what is around you in your DR. That's wrong. So you're going to want to do, what can you see? What can you hear? What can you smell? What can you taste? I'm missing a sense. Hearing, seeing. Did I say? I don't think it's a touch. Where you can touch in your DR, all of that stuff. And if you cannot picture it in your head, sometimes asking yourself questions can be really helpful. Like, for example, I'll go, what are the color of your DR walls? What are the color of your curtains? What are the color of your bed sheets? How many pillows do you have? What stuff do you have around? And just so even when you're not visualizing a picture, you're still visualizing what is in there. And then subliminals. So subliminals are videos where they will be saying the affirmations and stuff, but you cannot hear them. There will be music over it or whatever is over it. I like to put subliminals in as many videos as I can. I'm planning to post subliminal in this video, just so you know, when you're learning about shifting, you're also affirming that you are going to shift. And I just think it's very helpful. But affirmations are really easy. I mean, subliminals are really easy to make. You just record yourself saying the affirmations, or you put them in a text-to-speech thing, and you get that. And then you put them into any sort of editing. Most editing softwares will just do this really quickly and easily. Put it into the editing software. You make it really quiet. You put music over the top. You're done. There is your subliminal. It's that easy. Okay, so next I want to talk about methods. So methods are going to be a set of steps you take in order to help you shift to your DR. There are so many methods I can show you. You are probably going to be able to find a method that works well for you. There are awake methods, there are sleep methods, there are methods with a lot of visualization, some with none. There's some with there's just so many. You can take different bits of different methods, make your own method. You can make your own method completely from scratch. You don't even have to use a method. There's something for everyone. I want to go through some of the most common methods that I have seen. And first of all, we're going to start with the Raven method. So the Raven method, I'm going to show you, if you are just the newest in the shifting community, you probably know what the Raven method is. So the Raven method, you lay starfish in your bed, in starfish position, none of your limbs touching, and you're going to slowly count from 1 to 100, as slow as you can, so 1, 2, 3, so very slowly. And every 10th number, so 10, 20, 30, you are going to say an I am affirmation. So I am shifting, I'm shifting to my DR, I'm in my DR, I am elated to be in my DR, I'm excited to be in my DR, I am DR name, all that kind of stuff. And then once you've counted to 100, you're just going to say affirmations until you fall asleep, and then you will wake up in your DR. If you cannot fall asleep on your back, then this is not a good method for you. Find a different one. Or you can just, you could lay in a different position, but just try to stay still, essentially. Next, the intention method, which is probably the easiest method out of all the ones that I've listed. Probably the easiest method ever, honestly. You just go to bed with the intention that you're going to shift. I recommend with every method, but especially with this one, you listen to a subliminal, because that's just going to help get the intention into your head, and get all the affirmation and just everything just into your head, even if you're not actively thinking it. Next is Alice in Wonderland method, which I think is one of the heaviest visualization methods I have seen personally. It's kind of fun. It's just kind of fun. So you're going to picture your DR self, no, sorry, your CR self laying beneath a tree, and you're just laying there. Repeat affirmations until you start to feel some symptoms, and yeah, and then someone from your DR is going to come up to you under the tree, and you're going to get up and you're going to try and talk to them, but they're going to run off, and then you are going to run after them. And after, you run for a bit, they're going to jump down a rabbit hole. You're going to take a second to think, am I ready? If you are, then you can jump down after them. If not, you can repeat some affirmations until you feel that you are ready. Yeah. And then whilst you're falling down the rabbit hole, you're going to imagine some memories from your CR. Positive memories, negative memories, anything you can think of, big memories, small memories, and you're just going to picture they're just going to be glowing past you as you fall down. They do not serve you anymore. They're gone, all up there. And then you are going to fall into a room. This room is going to have a door and a key on a table. You're going to take the key, you're going to unlock the door, and standing in the doorway is going to be the person from your DR that you followed. They're going to ask you if you're ready. If you say yes, then you can take their hand and walk to the door. And as soon as you cross that and you walk to the doorway, you are your DR self at that moment. And then you're going to be in your DR bedroom, or wherever you're going to wake up. In your DR, you're going to lay down in your bed in the exact same position that you started doing this method in, and you're just going to repeat affirmations and visualize until you fall asleep. Next is the Julia method, which I think is the most common awake method that I have seen. So the method, you lay down, you just repeat I am affirmations, or you count slowly from 1 to 100 until you start to feel a few symptoms. And then you are going to visualize after that. You're going to visualize very heavily. If you struggle with visualizing, ask yourself questions. What color are my curtains? What color are my walls? What do I look like? All that kind of stuff. And as you do this, you are going to feel your surroundings around you change. Do not move, just let it all happen. And you're going to essentially do this. You can go back to repeating you can kind of go between repeating affirmations 1 to 100, visualization, and just go between them until you shift. And you're going to shift away. You can do the Julia method as a sleep method if you want to, but it was created as an awake method. Next is the heartbeat method. So this one's pretty simple. You get on your phone a sound of a heartbeat. You put it underneath the pillow and you cuddle your pillow, and you imagine you're laying on someone from your DR's chest and you're listening to their heartbeat. And whilst you're doing this, you can repeat affirmations or count to 100 until you fall asleep. And finally, I want to talk about some of the common misconceptions in the shifting community. So the first ones that I think started on Shift Talk is that you need to drink a lot of water, and you need to do a lot of meditation, and you need to do all that kind of stuff, and you need to skincare, self-care. Those can be helpful to help raise your and make you feel good and raise your vibrations before you do it, but they are not needed. You do not need to drink an entire bottle of water before you try and shift. If anything, that's going to be detrimental because you're going to want to go up and use the toilet in the middle of trying to shift. If you find that does help you, you can do it. No one's stopping you, but you don't need to do it. Next is that you don't need any doubts. You need to be completely doubtless and completely confident that you're going to shift. That is not true. It is in our human nature to have doubts with everything. The best thing to do is go about and counter all your doubts. So if you're thinking, oh, what if it's not real? Also think, but what if it is? And you're never going to know that unless you try and unless you keep at it. Things oh, what if I'm just not meant to? But what if I am meant to? Things like that. Just counter it with the positive. Next is that shifting is not scientific. There's no scientific backing. There is. There is an entire CIA document on shifting. If you want to find more about shifting in the scientific realm, it is more helpful to look up quantum jumping. That is what it is. Under the CIA document. And yeah, if you want anything scientific, looking up quantum jumping is going to be your best bet. And finally, that shifting is just lucid dreaming or astral projection. That is not true. You are not dreaming. You are real. You are awake. You are just in a different reality. Lucid dreaming, you're dreaming. You can control your dreams, but you're dreaming. And in astral projection, you are moving your consciousness, but you are moving your consciousness to a different plane of this reality, rather than to an entirely new reality. So they are similar, and I haven't personally ever heard of it, but I think you probably could accidentally astral project while trying to shift, because I've tried to astral project before, I've tried to shift before, and I've had similar symptoms while doing both. So I'm sure it's probably something you can accidentally do, but they are not the same thing. Okay, and that is the video. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please remember to like and subscribe, and just all the fun YouTube things. They really help me out quite a bit. Thank you. Bye everyone. Happy shifting.